Oh, this is hardware, man. F-E-A-A-B-O. Got the Latin American camera. Showing it for the camera. Now that's...
They got some trainers say, and some fighters say, well, I don't watch videos of the guy fighting. I let the coach watch it. Hey, man.
Guys, one thing we know for sure about Wilder, he hit you clean. Right. And this woman whooped the whole world twice. The whole world.
And I'm really liking that new intro we got.
That was legit.
Y'all must be legit. What's going on? Good morning. It's another Saturday morning.
Alfonso,
Podcast.
I know you stay training, bro. Fight or not.
Yeah, you got to at these times. I mean, shoot, I'd have been a full-fledged heavyweight if I took any time off.
I know that's right,
What
bro.
people don't know is I was legitimate before I really got into boxing. And 215, and I mean, not Anthony Joshua looking, but I mean, solid, strong, physically strong. So it's not hard for me to get to that point quickly.
That was from football? That was from football? Being that size?
Do I have problems? Can I fight at that size?
No. I said from football is why you was that big or what?
Yeah. We just, you're in the weight room quite a bit. You're eating every single day. I was 215. I think I did, and it wasn't impressive. You're going to see a lot of guys. I wasn't the biggest, football player, but I did about 225. I think about 17 times. I mean, I was, I could play with them, but those boys were big. I mean, when I was like, yeah, maybe I could just entertain this boxing thing a little. These guys right here, boy. Woo.
And it's easy. It's easy to put those pounds on when you're not doing anything, man.
Man,
I can go the whole week training at the gym, be a certain weight all week, and then Friday roll around and I get real lazy with my eating, and I just start eating. And then come Monday, I step on that scale. I'm like, fuck, man, that's 10 pounds just in 2 days. What the hell happened?
I mean, I go on a little vacation. I promise 10, 15 pounds like that.
Like that. Yeah, buddy. So how's it been with the whole COVID thing?
Man, I mean, it was a little bit difficult early. A lot of the, when it was real strict and everybody was kind of, the gym shut down and no one was really going out. I mean, March, April, May was like, we were kind of BSing on phones with each other. Hey, who's doing something? Hey, I did this. What'd y'all do? Just some of my clients, some of my, my buddies, just like, hey, I did this workout. What'd y'all go do? I said, I tried to make my whole garage into a gym. I took everything out. Got a bag hung up in there. Got some weights. It was just, you had to do what you had to do. But I found myself almost doing more weight training than actually boxing training. When I started actually boxing again, man, you hear the, the old school, like, don't be lifting heavy, it'll slow you down. I was always like, well, if you train with heavy weights and then you train with speed, you should maintain, your reflexes and your speed. But I wasn't doing speed stuff. I was just doing a bunch of powerlifting stuff. And when I started trying to box, I tell you what, you can't even hit a bag. It's like, man, you're so
No.
I was so bad. But I was like, well, I think I was probably 215, and I was too tight. Everything was just up here, like all of my arms, and I wasn't doing a whole lot of legs. I couldn't hit the bag for nothing.
That's because you didn't have a milkshake man.
What's that?
You should have had a milkshake man with your powerlifting. Then it would have all worked out.
drink your protein shakes and
stuff, but it worked.
how has
Man, right when that pandemic hit, right whenever, I mean, y'all was down to the wire. Tigre Promotions did the weigh-in, right?
We did. Man,
Y'all was weighing in, and then you came on a live video saying they shut us down.
Shut us down. We really at that point when it was so early really thought that we could get it. We were gonna kind of just stay strong,
wiggle through,
and just will through it. And it didn't go in our favor. It just it didn't. And now at the times it's even tougher now to try to put a show on now. It's even more difficult.
And it's not just y'all, because remember they okayed Joe and them,
mm-hmm.
and Robert was on that gonna fight for ABO title, and I think Tuesday, the fight was Friday. Tuesday they shut it down. But it was okay to put up to the fight and promote it and all that, and they shut it down 3 days before the fight, I think.
It's hard because you're losing. I mean, everybody's losing. I mean, fighters are losing time. Promoters are losing money. Fighters are losing money because it ain't. I mean, it costs the training. You know what I mean? I mean, you spend a lot of time on yourself, and a lot of you are your own business. So you spend a lot of time on yourself, and it's that time you don't get back, and you hope to get in the ring, and it doesn't happen. It's not only almost depressing. It's just like, I mean, it hits fighters a different way. People don't understand when you got something built up and all of a sudden it's scrapped. It hits you a different way. I mean, it's just, I mean, I'm not a big crier. I mean, I can't say that. A good movie can make me cry. I can't say that. A good movie.
Depending on if it's the scene when Mickey died, or
you get on the scale and then you're like, "Hey man, your fight ain't gonna happen. Sorry." Like, what? And you want to cry.
What has communication with the commissioner been? With the commission been like? What are they talking about? Have there been any updates? What?
Man, right now, honestly, it's been kind of on a radio silent. They won't.
Really?
October was supposed to be nothing gonna happen in October. But we kind of been sending some emails. A lot of the promoters in Texas have done a great job. We've all been communicating with each other, and we're all trying to get on the same page, whether we got to work together to put on one show just because of the stipulations that are being put on us. Even with no live, even if we just we can't have an audience, can we all bound together and try to put something together in an area for ourselves in Houston? Us and Joe and Force Train, if we can get together somehow and make something work, where we can, it helps all parties and fighters get fights, and we do it. But we're ready to make that happen. Every promoter, I think, is, but the state kind of is. It doesn't answer emails and won't ease up on some of the
This is Coach Jaime's part of the show.
Somebody done called in. That's all.
Oh.
You gotta put your phone on. Somebody called you?
Yeah, that was my son. He was calling me. Yeah, I forgot to tell him.
Hey,
no, but it's they haven't let up on what they're willing to do, and so they haven't even really answered any emails on October. You know what I mean? With the cases going down and us sending in just different verbatim on what's happening around the city. There hasn't been very much feedback on, hey, this is what it's looking like for you guys. It's like sticking to the guns of not letting us out for the year.
Your gut feeling with everything that's going on. What are you thinking? Early 2021? Do you think we're gonna get a show in by the end of the year?
I'm a moth. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say to the beginning of the year that we're probably. My gut feeling tells me how the schools roll back in. We're gonna see how the state's gonna see how it goes with the school system. see how some of these, the backing off of the mask thing starts to go. See how some of those things happen. And I think that's going to really dictate. Let's see how the sports go in high school. Kids are playing football. Let's see how. I think that's a kind of going to something kind of sitting on, waiting to see what happens, and hopefully all that goes well. And I think then combat sports can really happen. But I really feel like it could happen right now. I think by October, November, we should have been able to be putting on shows.
How's the bounce back been? How's the bounce back been with the gym? Have you been seeing a lot of people come back and getting involved in the gym?
Man, it's probably 50-50. Some don't want to be there when there's a lot of people. Some are just straight up like, hey, I'm game, I'm down. We're cleaning, we're sanitizing, we're coming in. They want to train, no mask. Some they want to be there, and then some are like, hey, I'm not leaving the house. I'm staying home. I got little kids, or I got older parents, and you have to respect that. You just said, hey, I get it. Hey, I have a lot of private clients that I train, so even at that, they're like, we just train outside in the garage, and you're seeing a lot of guys, a lot of people that can do that use boxing for their own physical and mental, getaway. They stay home. They don't really want you to go to their house, but it's been 50-50. It's touch and go. It hasn't been wide open, but it isn't. Nobody's really shying away, full time.
Yeah. I think with us, the kids are the ones that have stayed away the most, and I think the parents probably have taken that precaution and say, hey, we're not going to be sending our kids to the gym. But we've had some pretty good turnouts with adults, and along with those private one-on-ones. We've gotten a bunch of those as well. So I don't know. I think the general public is ready to get back to normal, and people are trying to, do what they can and do their part. It just seems like it's the government officials and the local officials that are really slowing us down.
I think it's better to
absolutely. I think a lot of people are really ready to get out there. I lost you. Go ahead. I'm getting a lot of static.
Yeah, you cut out for a second.
My phone or what?
I think it's better to. You can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
It's cutting in and out. I'm hearing you in spots. Okay.
I think it's always better to err in the side of caution, man, because but I follow the trends, man, and not being no medical dude or none of that shit, right? But in my day job, where I went and got tested, I passed it every day, right? And it was a cattle call for months. And just as the numbers started increasing in Houston, the positive tests, the testing sites started slowing down, right? And now they're open, but it's almost non-existent. So I was thinking, just for my own, and I'm not giving anybody any opinions to listen to. I'm just saying from me watching. I said, okay, all the results are coming in from these people getting tested, but less people are getting tested after 3 months. And then I paid attention, and I said, yeah, the people who are really struggling, dying from COVID, are the elderly and the people with preconceived, not preconceived, what they call it? Preconditioned. So you got two faucets. You got a group of people who feel like, it ain't shit, because some of them may even had corona and it was nothing. They were sick for a day or two and it was over. And then you have the terrible, the terrible side of it. So the one thing I'm certain about is nobody's certain. and if you're sick or preconditions, you need to be extra vigilant. And while the rest of the people might get a flu and then shake back, they're not even testing no more, man. So I think they testing, but ain't nobody gonna get tested. I think we seen what it is, how bad it's gonna be, and as long as it's sticking around, older people, people with asthma, people with respiratory issues. If they get it, it's gonna be bad. You know,
Yeah.
whereas the young guys in the gym, they're strong, virile. You know, they if they get it, they might go get sick for a day or two and come back. So that's the fine line that we walk with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have a next fight up was gonna be in the bubble, right? I had to get tested. I had to get Robert tested. It was gonna be a bubble. It was gonna be precautionary like they do in Vegas, and they still shut it down. But I think they shut it down because, like I'm saying, it's better to earn on the side of caution rather than become. And I'm sure that's what they're looking at. Become in any kind of way liable for something. You know what I'm saying? You know how people assume because you hurt my feelings. So if you get corona and somebody, you know, look, was Rocha? Do we know if Rocha had corona? Was that what happened with him? Or no?
I don't know.
The coach.
I don't know. I didn't hear if he had it or not.
Okay. Well, we know Termite had it and how bad it was when he had it. You know, he wasn't going good at all. So I think that's what it is. You got to deal with a certain amount of people not wanting to be liable for anything, you know. But with that comes fighters suffering, promoters suffering, trainers suffering, gym suffering. So you got, but everybody's suffering. So what you gonna do? You know, you got to stay vigilant, man. If you're in the high risk side, I think, you know. But it just sucks, man. This whole 2020 been a loss, bro. The whole 2020, man.
That's why you gotta think of new ways to be ahead of it. Like, so every day at the gym before anyone comes in, I make sure they take a shot of Lysol, you know, because that shit just cleans everything. You gotta have proper precautions in place.
I'll take 2.
Yeah.
Let's roll.
There you go.
No, we do not endorse that. I don't want to get sued or shut down.
Alfonso, I've been paying attention to the light heavyweight division now for a minute on purpose. Fuck, boxing's deep, bro, right now. Boxing is deep, man. I like to say that junior middleweight is probably the deepest division. But then when I start looking at welter, light heavy, middleweight, super middle, every fucking thing is wide open, bro. 2020 been fucked up.
Yeah, it is.
But I feel like we about to go through a renaissance, man. Like in the late 80s, early 90s, bro. That's how many great boxers is out there. Great boxers, you know. I know you got to be looking at that light heavy division and thinking of ways to plot and plan and maneuver. What you think, man? It's deep, bro. It's deep. Like the top 10 light heavyweights are all bad motherfuckers, man. All of them, in one way or the other, you know.
Yeah.
What you
it's very deep. It's very deep. And what it comes down to, you know, on my end, what it comes down to is the fact that, you know, I am, you know, like a free agent per se. You know what I mean? I'm flying my own route, and so, you know, I'm kind of at the will of either, you know, trying to find somebody else in that middle section of the top 10 to fight and bring to Texas, or I have to wait for that phone call. It puts you in a bind to just got to be ready to accept any one of them. You know, at the end of the day, you just have to be ready to fight any guy that you get the phone call for, you know, but then being, you know, me as a fighter who's just a little bit different than a lot of those guys and come up a little bit different, you know, I mean, I may just not even ever get that phone call. You know, you just don't know what the way the business is and, you know, the times are right now, just because everything is up in the air. You know, you kind of just have to, you know, that's why we're at the gym staying ready, because you just don't know what's going to happen. But man, is it deep? Yes. Are some fighters going to be more avoided than others, especially those champions? You know, Beterbiev, you know, those guys. You know, not everybody wants to just jump in the ring with those guys. You know what I mean? So, you know, when you get that phone call, you know, whether it's, you know, short time, low money, you know, you hope that, you know, you're going to have to be ready so you can take that opportunity to just shock somebody, shock the world. And, you know, it's very difficult to put yourself in that situation, because, you know, all cards are stacked against you. But at some point, you just got to take that gamble. You got to take that opportunity?
Man, I think, I think the good thing about the podcasting, and we got people that watch, I got named people that watch, and then the popularity, I try not to cater to nobody. I call myself catering to just good boxing, but then even that's left up to interpretation. But the thing I love about this podcast, and I think that people love about it, is they get some insight on how shit works. You know what I'm saying? Like you got a lot of fans and fan podcasts and stuff, man, that they're strictly fans, and I watch them. I watch some of the podcasts. It's fun to listen to these guys talk. Some of them know the sport. Some of them as wrong as two left shoes. But what they don't understand is the background to this podcast and why we have fighters like yourself. And I try to get all fighters, veterans like yourself with titles and ranks, world rankings, man, to the amateurs. We done had amateurs, new pros, all that type of stuff. Because they don't understand, man. You got, although Alfonso, and correct me at any time if I'm straying on your situation, but sure, Alfonso Lopez is the final say. Because like you said, you're a free agent. At the end of the day, you say yeah or no. But there's management. You know what I'm saying? You have business partners, and everybody's got to be on that same page. And everybody can say, it's like, let's say Better BL comes, right? This is a perfect example. Better BL got, I think the IBF title and the WBC, maybe. He got 2 of the titles, right? And Bivol got the other. So Better BL people call and say, Alfonso, you up, man. You top 10 in the world. This is your ticket. We're gonna punch. And you say, okay, what's the price? And they go, oh man, we're gonna give you 50 grand for this. And you go, 50 grand for like two world titles. And then say Joe Smith Jr. calls, and he ain't got no title. They need a fighter. They want a world ranked fighter, and they offer you 250,000. Well, the fans are gonna say, he wants the Super Bowl, right? He's supposed to go fight this guy. I'm supposed to go fight this guy for 50 grand and quadruple it over here. But guess what? If I beat Joe Smith Jr., that just made Better BL fight more valuable when I fight. People don't understand that shit, bro, and it gets frustrating. And this is far outside of the realm of us sitting down and formulating a plan how to beat somebody, right? Because even that's a whole different part. That's a whole different part. Like if we sit down and say, all right, man, we gotta fight Jesse Hart, the light heavyweight, the ranked heavyweight from Philly. All right, how we beat this guy? Let's check him. Let's study him and all this type of shit. But then his offer comes through and it ain't shit. Well, you can't do that, man. I don't think people understand, man, how frustrating, and it frustrates you because most fighting men feel just like you feel. I got to be ready and fight whoever. I don't think none of them names keeps Alfonso Lopez up at night. He don't wake up in a sweat going, oh, I'm gonna fight that. Fuck no, man. If we gotta fight, we gotta fight. But if it's a business deal and you sitting there going,
gotta fight.
Do I make this $250,000 or do I make somebody happy to get 50 grand against this guy? They don't understand that, bro. And
that's something that we talked about early on when we first started our management company. Was the fight sometimes inside the ring is a lot easier than the fight that we got going on the outside, dealing with promoters, dealing with other managers, dealing with the promotion company. I mean, you got to go through all kinds of shit just to have, a fight at the end of the night. And sometimes you got to go through negotiations. And like Coach says, the business side of it, motherfucker, offering you $50,000 to fight a 2-belt champion versus a 250, and people not seeing that on the outside might start saying you're ducking somebody. Now, with you being your own promotion company, how is it for you to navigate that with some of these, national and global companies, Top Rank, The Zone? I mean, how do they treat you, and how do they look at you when it comes to getting you matched up?
I mean, I think they look at me stylistically. Every time we get the phone calls, it's more of a stylistically style for them, and then they look at, they like the ranking. Obviously, they like who we beat, but if they look at you and me as a business, they look at me as a fighter, as a business. They go like, okay, if we have our young champion fight this guy, and he starches our guy or beats our guy, obviously in the contract they're gonna bound me to them. You know what I mean? That's a given. That's gonna happen. They're gonna say like, hey, we're gonna give you the opportunity, but if you win, we have options on your next 3 fights, whatever they want to come up with, but they're gonna somehow try to keep you so that they always keep it in house. I mean, look at the fights that are happening. They're all in house. It's all in house money. It's all top ranked guys are fighting top ranked guys. They are partners. I mean, just look at what's happening there. So like Beterbiev is in top rank. The only other outsider is Bivol, who's with somebody else. But I mean, it's all kind of housed in with one another. So when they look at me and they call, they basically either going to go stylistically, is he going to beat our guy? Maybe we should just maybe until make him go earn some more shit the hard way, and then when we have to give him the opportunity. And that's what I've been doing my whole career, since I fought Kelly Pavlik, and I come up short, but I was green.
Man,
I just took the fight to take the fight, but it was that opportunity. And then it was like, oh, phone calls didn't really, a couple more came, but it was still not what you thought was going to happen. And when you stay solo, I think it makes it a little more difficult, but I earned it like the other day I made a post that just earned the hard way. It's earned the hard way. I've just, you look at Joe Smith. I had won that belt Joe Smith fought for. I was going to fight Carpenti to as my defense. Carpenti, not because anything we did, he pulls out a week before the fight or 2 weeks before the fight. We find Grachev to step in on a short notice to fight us for it. We get approval from the WBO that, okay, hey, we're not going to sank. We can't approve Grachev coming off a loss, but we're gonna give you an extension to defend that belt. You'll get an additional 60 days or whatever it was. I don't know how. I have to go back and look at the emails, but and then fucking January's coming around and Joe Smith's fighting Jesse Hart for it on the Top Rank show on ESPN, and we're called like, dude, how they fighting for my belt? I ain't lost that belt. That's my belt. Well, bullshit. They fight for it. You see the storyline. Smith wins. Smith gets another fight. Now he's fucking gonna get the fight for the world title. And I'm sitting there going like, bitch, I never lost that title. It's a hard way. Shit, I came out. I put that on to get that fucking belt. It sucks.
No one hears that side. Alfonso, nobody hears that side.
Yeah.
Nobody. They just sitting there going, I thought Alfonso was that. Well, he must didn't want to fight. Nah, man, get the fuck out of here, bro. People don't understand, man. Especially when you're an independent guy. It's your gambling, right? Your gamble is even more high stakes because you take the shot, you lose. Guess what they do? They open the back door. You step out to get some fresh air, blam, the door shut. Or you win, and you win a lot because you can tell whoever stick it in their ass because I'm gonna do what I want to do. But yeah, the people don't understand all these parts, man. And now, like I'm saying now, the stakes are high for everybody because on top of everything else, on top of the monopolies, the COVID, the promoters fighting in-house, the fucking division's deep, man. It's killers every fucking way. Every fight's a real fight with everybody. Anybody ranked, it's a real fight.
fight.
When I look at light heavyweight and I
It is a
see,
real fight.
when I look and see, I say Kovalev is still around and highly rated, and so is Gene Pascal. And you look at him and go, fuck, that's the bottom man. God damn, this shit is bad, bro. Who you got? That Alvarez kid, he can show up in it. That Joe Smith just beat. He showed up and beat Kovalev. Joe Smith's a bad motherfucker. Better BF. B-Ball's a boxing motherfucker. That Brown kid, the Hart kid, everybody's bad. And the thing about you guys is, from middleweight up, but especially like heavyweight, you motherfuckers is punching like heavyweights, man. So it's one shot done, over. No matter if you're winning or losing, one shot changes the whole fucking thing, man. That just, now as a fan, when I set myself outside of myself and I don't have my trainer's hat on or manager hat on, as a fan, I go, man, any light heavyweight fight I want to watch if it's on TV, because no telling what's gonna happen in that fight, man. Because everybody's so skilled and evenly matched. Yeah, man.
And we needed it.
It's frustrating sometimes.
And boxing needed it, man, because I can remember 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, about 2.5, 3 years ago, everyone was saying, man, boxing's dead. Boxing's dead. Ain't nothing going on in boxing. And
they've been saying that my whole life.
Yeah, and now it seems like every division's stacked from heavyweight all the way down. So it's good for the sport. It's a damn shame this whole COVID had to slow things down for us. But we'll see.
It is a shame, but like this, to go back to it, the light heavyweight division, yes, every fight is a very difficult fight. The way any fighter takes a certain fight out of fighting anybody in the top 10 is going to have to be strategic on styles, and obviously, some of the guys that have contracts, it's going to be more about money. You know what I mean? They're going to kind of navigate their way around the money. And the heavyweight division is the same. Everybody's, there's a lot of legitimate guys out there. And then there's some young guys that coming up in every one of those divisions that's, legitimate. You know what I mean? If you look, there's probably a cruiserweight that can come up and fight with those heavies. There's you see Benavidez, who's a super middleweight. He can move up and give a lot of light heavyweights lots of problems because he's just as big, So,
68 is heavy too, man. 68
I really see Benavidez staying down for a little while longer. I think he still can make 68. I think the fact that why we saw him come in a little bit heavy, it wasn't anything that he wasn't doing in the gym. It was the difficulties that we're all going through right now with quarantine. You know what I mean? And outside of his life, if you look at follow him at all, we all need. He's got a baby on the way. He's got lots of other family. I mean, yes, like you said, the not making the weight was on him. But he can make 68, and he can be a killer there for a little while, and he can still grow into that body that is still growing, and he eventually can be a light heavyweight and then a heavyweight because he is young as long as he keeps taking care of himself. But the heavyweight division, I mean, you got light heavyweights, that can move up to the heavyweight division and be train themselves to be in Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield was a light heavyweight. I mean, he put the muscle, put the strength in the right areas. Don't go trying to look like a bodybuilder. Just go there and put the strength in the right area and fight and know the game. And you can fight with heavyweights. But so there's a lot of opportunity for a lot of fighters because they all are all good and all can move up and fight in any one of those divisions. And that's what makes it exciting right now. It's just that the times with COVID is slowing a lot of it down, and it's a bummer.
Brother, hey, I'm a fan. I'm gonna tell you something. You picked the guy. I'm as big a fan of David Benavidez as I am of you. And now you and I are friends. I only met David once, but I'm that big on that kid. And what I'm saying is, when he missed weight, yes. I didn't excuse him either, it's unprofessional to lose your title on it. You can't call somebody else out on that and then not call your guy out on it. I love how he handled it. Yeah, I missed weight. It's all my fault. I fucked up. And then he went in there and fucking abused that dude. But here's the thing. That kid is fucking special. And I don't think people understand how special this fucking guy is. And it could blow up now. Don't get me wrong. I don't pick motherfuckers that say, you know, he's gonna go to the moon and shit, because anything can happen. But that fucking Benavidez kid. I'm gonna tell you something else, man. If a man's 6 foot, 6'1", he can fight in any division. If he's a boxing motherfucker, you're right. He can go to heavyweight. You're right. Because 6'1" is enough man to chop them big fucking trees down if they don't know how to fight and defend themselves. But 6 to 8, like you said, 6 to 8 is just another division, man, where they bad. You know, Caleb Plant got fans. Of course, I'm a Canelo guy. Canelo's the fucking man. Yeah. Triple G still there. Don't Triple G have a title some kind of way at 6 to 8? Or what?
Shit, I don't even know. Let me see.
He's high ranked or something, you know.
At 60, I think, right?
Yeah. So I mean, bruh, 6 to 8, 75. And I guarantee you, David Benavidez is gonna be a light heavyweight in the next year or two. But I'm like you, he can make that 6 to 8 and unify everything, man. Man, boxing's deep, bro. When I look at 54, man, and see 7 dudes, you can lean one way or the other, but it's them motherfuckers to win. Welterweight, of course, is always competitive. Yeah. But yeah, man, you up there swimming with the sharks, man, 75. Everybody fight. 10 motherfuckers can fight. And so I guess that extra. So do you look at being independent as a plus, or would you rather be in with a guy so you get that mix, in with a promoter? What you rather?
I think, I enjoy the independent side of it, but I would say it does make it a little more difficult. It makes it a lot more difficult because you're not necessarily, let's say you don't have somebody always on the chessboard at these meetings with ESPN and Top Rank and Starbucks, whatnot. So you're getting the second phone call or the third phone call, you know what I mean, from somebody else. They're still looking to make something happen. So, I've done my whole career being my own, doing it ourselves, and so it's just the way I kind of manage my whole career. I enjoy it, but at some point, if they called and said like, "Hey, you need to sign with us if you want to get these fights," you know what I mean? I mean, they're probably gonna take everything from you, honestly. And that's where you say, as a fighter, like am I going to do this just for all these opportunities? I want to fight these guys, or am I going to really sit back and worry about what I'm paid and how long I'm going to be stuck to them, what I'm going to lose? And it's a hard decision because it's still life and death for you. You're going to be fighting killers, and is the reward really ever going to be worth it? Are you going to give up most of it, or are you going to be able to keep some of it? So it's kind of it's a tough decision. That's why you go to your family, you go to your team, and you just you make the best call on yourself. And a lot of people won't understand it, and everybody can say that they would have did it different. But at the end of the day, they're, like you said, they're not sitting there. They haven't been doing it for 20 plus years. You know what I mean? They don't understand everything that goes into these decisions and what all at the end of the day can happen to you fighting these guys that are legitimate big time killers. At what division? It does it. Any division, super middle, light heavy, the junior middles, all those guys are. I mean, any division you're in, there's a bunch of just straight up killers.
And once you get to that,
look at. Good.
Once you get to that rare air too, meaning this is the decision right here. I'm taking my whole fucking career and we're putting it on this fight, right? That exists too. Independent of that. You gotta say you gotta weigh the fucking options. And it's not, like I say, I try to tell you, it's seldom about ducking people for fighting men. It's seldom about that shit. It's like, okay, this guy, we're gonna call him Willie Lump. Willie Lump is the fucking man. Promoters are behind him, the TV behind him. He can fight too. All right. This fucking $100,000. I'm betting my whole fucking career on this $100,000 because I'm getting to where what's your record again? 32-3, huh? 32?
Yep.
So every shot
32.
matters. Every shot matters. Every shot is valuable. Every shot, well, some shots may not be valuable, so you don't take it. But once you get to that ranking, I guess you could say that top 10 ranking, man, shit is heavy, bro. Shit is heavy. You gambling everything on this shit, man. And the guys, and you gotta make what's wise for you, for your wife, your kids, your team. Everybody's
future.
That's a lot of pressure, man, going into a fight like this.
Oh yeah.
What do you think, or how do you see your next 3 moves?
With right now where we're at, either my next move most likely is we got to try to fight within at least one time this year during this quarantine. So it's definitely a spot where we got to either promote one, and we got to get a guy here to get a fight in. That's got to be one. The next one is we got to try to bring a show immediately to Texas, because the year is going to finish. All the big promoters already have what they got going on, so we got to try to get a show on here in Texas where we can bring in somebody, where we can get another fight in for this year. And so rolling into the next year, option 2s and 3s is that let's take any phone call that comes, if it makes sense per se. It can't be just some dumb phone call that just doesn't make any sense, but we want to be there where we can take a quality phone call that makes a lot of sense to us, that we're comfortable with. And at the end of the day, we do the best that we can as a light heavyweight. We face the best fighters in the world that we can, and then at that point, depending on whatever happens, I mean, like I said, I can get up to 215, and so I don't mind. I am over 6 foot tall. I don't mind moving up to heavyweight, but that'll be my last third option before this career ends. I would entertain that. I think I've sparred with lots of big guys, and so I would be willing to gamble with it. As a third option is just moving up. Hey, heavyweights, it's a little easier to get a big heavyweight fight than it is to get a legitimate good light heavyweight fight, super middleweight fight. You can get up, you can become a heavyweight, and all those guys will just fight. You'll get bigger fights there than anywhere else, in my opinion. But
that's why everybody's trying to get that.
Load.
And what about how long has Our Tigre Promotions been established for?
Man, this is, I think, we missed all of this year, but it was going to be our 3rd year, promoting.
Is this something that you want?
We were growing fast. We were doing good. We kept doing. Our shows were getting bigger. This has been a shutdown for us. This has been a little bit of a hurt. We're in a stall, but we're not trying to slow down. We're trying to just figure it out. We're trying to maneuver, whether we got to partner with somebody. We got to we're gonna come up with something. We got to have some help from the state, and we don't want to leave the state of Texas. We don't want to. Initially you thought, hey, let's go to Louisiana and do some stuff there. Well, now we get hit. They get hit with this massive hurricane. Ain't nothing happening over there. So it's really going to make it really difficult for us to do anything unless we can do it here in Texas, here in Houston, here somewhere close to home, where our fighters' fans are and family is. And so even if it's live stream, you got to figure out how to stream that baby at a level that people are going to enjoy watching it. Maybe we can find a smaller network deal. I mean, we've been trying to do everything possible to do anything that can get boxing back on the tube here in Houston and get our fighters fighting, but it's just it's been difficult. But
it's one of those.
It's something that we'll always be doing.
It's one of those things. It's one of those things as a business as well. You're always telling your fighters to stay ready and be in position, because you never know when the phone call is going to come and you're going to be needed. And I think it's the same thing with the business. Is you got to stay ready, because it's I posted something yesterday. I think it was. It's the fourth quarter of the year is coming up, right? And everyone knows anything could fucking happen at the end of the year. Anything, shit can just start to open up, and you have to be ready. You have to be in position. You got to have your money ready. You got to have your relationships ready. That way, if they say, "Hey, fuck it," we're gonna lift the restrictions. If y'all want to put on a fight, you got a month or two before the end of the year. Shit, you got to be able to ready, and you got to be able and you got to be ready to put that show on because you want to get it in before, and we've seen it before. The crazy shit will happen in a financial year, the last month or two. So it's important to stay ready.
There's no such thing in boxing. There's no such thing as boxing as get ready. If you don't stay ready, you're gonna fuck yourself. Ain't nobody fucking you. Yeah. You gonna fuck yourself because it's as simple as B-Vol got a guy and the guy gets cut 2 weeks out and they call Alfonso Lopez and they give you the money they was gonna give that guy. And if your management's good, they gonna bump it up. Yeah. And say, all right, we fill in. Can't do that if you ain't in shape. Can't do that if you're 200 pounds and you're draining your body in 2 weeks to just make weight. You can't do that. There's no such thing as getting ready in boxing. And I don't care how great ability-wise a fighter is, a young kid or anything. If you don't stay in shape and you don't live like a boxer, you're wasting your time, man. Yeah. You're wasting your time because you're going to get the call and you're going to get embarrassed. And then you're worthless because you're an independent contractor. They're going to say, fuck, he came in here not in shape. What the fuck is he doing? He really just took the money. You gotta live that shit, man. And I know it's frustrating. A lot of fighters get frustrated and shit. But if you're not built for it, you're not gonna be successful, man. You're not gonna be successful at all. Not at fighting. Ain't no such thing.
Being an independent contractor, it really is a lot tougher because you have to be your own boss. And literally, you have to self-manage and make. It's easy when someone is saying, "All right, you got to go do this, go do that, and go do that," and that's what I'm going to pay you for, right? You're working for someone, or you're under contract. But when you're your own contractor, or you're your own business, you got to be that much more disciplined to manage yourself and say, "Fuck, I got to stay ready. I got to stay on top of my shit. I got to have everything in order," and that shit's fucking tough.
Everybody sees themselves. It is. Everybody sees themselves as a boss, but nobody wants to do the boss shit. Nobody. So you're not. You know what I'm saying? You're not. You don't have that material in you. So somebody needs to direct you and lead you to a certain way. So fine, but motherfucker, get in shape. I can't call you and be like, man, coach. Yeah, I'm 175 right now. Yeah. Motherfucker, you fight at 47. What the fuck are you doing? You can't do it. You can't do it. It isn't gonna work out like that for you, man. This is true shit, man. And God forbid you embarrass me. Don't embarrass me, motherfucker. Nah, they got to live in shape, man. You know that, Alfonso. Hey, makes fights.
No,
more harder than they need to be.
It is, like you said, it is fighters that gotta stay ready. Fighters gotta stay ready, promoters gotta stay ready. You gotta have an idea of where you're gonna go immediately as soon as it opens up. We had to stay on our fires and say, like, hey, just hang in there, stay ready. Don't be in peak mode, don't be peaked out. You know what I mean? Don't be jived up ready to fight this weekend and it get pushed another month, but just don't be sitting on the couch all week. You know what I mean? Just you don't gotta be peaked out. You don't gotta be right at weight time. You gotta be somewhere close.
Right.
So, and that's the part that's hard to manage. Whether you're independent or a fighter that's contractually bound. You know what I mean? Just hang in there somewhere close.
Absolutely.
Which fight do you see right now for yourself that you would like that would be a game changer for you? Who you give enough respect to say, hold
on. Man. Yeah. Hold on. One question before that, because I was thinking the same thing. First, excluding yourself, give us your top 3 light heavies. Number 1, 2, and 3. And then who you would like to fight.
Okay. 1, 2, and 3, I would have to say 1 for me as a light heavyweight. I would say is better Biev. You know, he's proved himself time to time. You know, he's a character. Does he have his flaws? Absolutely, but the guy seems to just be getting better. And then, you know, 2, you know, I mean, you really have to be impressed, honestly, with you know, and Smith isn't a champion yet, but I'm impressed by his work rate and who he is as a fighter. He ain't trying to be nobody else. He's just trying to be Joe Smith. You know what I mean? And it's still really hard to deal with. Yeah, does he have his technical flaws? And he's not a true boxer. I was like, well, shit, he doesn't have to be a true boxer if he's gonna stay in your ass and never give you a chance to fucking fight. You
I'm
know?
a fan. Yeah, I'm a fan.
If you can't time him properly and you ain't in shape to it ain't gonna matter what he does. And then you have Bivol, who's another really slick guy who's always got his eye on all the key points of what's happening. You know, he's up there. But you have Ramirez up there. You know, those would be my 3, just because I think that Ramirez hasn't done too much lately. But those would probably better Biev, Joe Smith, and Bivol have to be 1, 2, 3 in the light heavyweight division that really are tough to fight. Now, is a game changer for me when you say who you want to fight. You know what I mean? I think you have to want to fight the one guy. I mean, if you're any kind of just competitive guy and just want to fight the best fighters in the world, you want to fight better. Yeah. Is he extremely dangerous? Yeah. But does he have his flaws? Yes, he does. You know what I mean? And we don't know what he feels. We just see what we see on TV. We just see what we see on TV from him and what he does, and we know he does a lot of things good. But when you get in there as a fighter, as another fighter, I don't know what there's stuff that we don't know about each other. There's things I don't know about, things he don't know about me until we actually get in there and answer those questions for ourselves. But because of who he is and who he's been groomed to be and what he's proved in the ring and behind his promotions, he's the guy that I think everybody, you know, sees as the number 1 guy. He does have 2 belts, you know, and he wins them impressively. And so I think, yeah, I mean, the game changer, we'd love to fight him, because I think you beat him, everybody's going to go like, oh, man, you know, it opens up more doors. It opens up more doors and more opportunities. And
what would that road look like to get to that fight? What would need to happen?
Oh man, well, he's got the IBF and he's got the the W titles. You know, where so we got to find a way to break into those. You know, they have WBC hasn't updated their rankings. You know, we did get that NABF title, thinking that we'd get somewhere a little closer to the 10 ranking system. So we're hoping that hopefully, you know, maybe we've got to fight for another title, defend that belt, or we want to go the IBF and try to one of their minor titles, their intercontinental belt or something like that. You know, so that's kind of what I think what needs to be done. Or we got to find somebody in those top 10 areas and call them out and bring them to Texas and pay them, to come here and win and get us a little closer to being able to get that 1 spot. But I think that would be the route to have to get to those guys. Other than that, we're at the WBO, we're at 10. We can kind of wait that out and see how that plays out. Joe Smith's going to kind of wait for those other 2 guys to finish their, have to fight each other. He probably is going to be granted like some interim title. And then we're going to see, like, at some point, he's going to have to stay busy because of his contract, defending whatnot. And he's not going to, if he can't fight other guys, he's going to have to fight someone in the top 10. Maybe we get that phone call. Maybe we get that opportunity. So you got to obviously stay ready for that call on that end. But I don't know. I mean, it's just that there's so much up in the air that you got to be prepared for and got to be ready to just jump on.
Is it the WBO vacant at light heavy, or am I misremembering?
It is.
It's vacant, huh?
No, it's vacant. It's vacant, and they're doing that little, the number 1 and 3 were fighting, and Joe Smith and Alvarez were fighting. So now it was like a little tournament, I guess. Those 2 then had to fight each other to be the world champion. So whoever, I think, with the guy from China, and then not even sure where the other guys from, they needed to fight each other, but they're having issues trying to get their fight on just because of the COVID restrictions. So Joe Smith will be waiting. I mean, he can't wait. He won't be waiting long, but that's what I was saying. They might grant him, who knows, as the champion,
There's so many avenues at light heavy because it's deep. But like you say, you still need the opportunity. And the worst thing to do is sit out a year and not get nothing in, you know. And so it'd be more. You have to find something, you know. Be it October, November, December, man. You got to perform somewhere.
Yeah.
Have you been
Just
getting
to be
sparring?
active because you don't want to get. Because believe me, that's when you get the call too. Oh, he ain't fought in a year, but he's still wrong. Let's get him. You know that they still gonna try to play and strategize that bullshit, man. Man, it's so fucking deep, man. It's so fucking deep. I think
Alfonso,
it is deep.
Have you been getting your sparring in?
Man, I have started sparring. I started going down to Lopez boxing gym down in Baytown. You know, there's two light heavyweights over there. You know, I've been spending some time down there, and then just spending time with some of my guys that I have over here. I got some heavyweights that, you know, they're amateurs. I'll spend some time working with them. I'll work with, you know, 140 pounders, you know, but I have started sparring. You know, I haven't been doing it. You know, when there's nothing coming up, I don't feel that you should stress yourself to spar 3 times, 4 times a week. So I've just been doing 2 times a week just because I just need to see punches. I need to keep my reaction and my time, you know, and just relaxation on working on small things. So I've been going a couple times a week. Next weekend, you know, Labor Day weekend, we invited, you know, we might do some sparring here in Houston with some guys from Dallas, you know, some Listo Gaitan. You know, he may come down and spar with us. We're trying to, you know, he's been, you know, he's had fights coming up, and he's in the same situation. Really hard to find sparring up there for him. And so I reached out and I was like, man, you know, if you guys want to come here, you know, maybe I'd love to try to get up there one time. It's really more difficult for me to probably get there, but they wanted to come down and get some sparring in Labor Day weekend. So yeah, I'm easing into it. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to beat the body up too bad, but I am easing into it. And, you know, and I mean, I feel good. It just, I am still a little bit too heavy. Like I tell you what, I mean, I am, you know, like you say, I usually walk around about 190, you know, even when I get into the ring, I'm about 190 pounds. I go from 190 to 75. So right now I'm walking around 200, 202, you know, yeah, I'm, you know, and I dropped the 10 pounds pretty fast. Yeah, I just got to step up the running game. I got to step up the sprint game, and I got to step up the sparring game. Once you start doing that, you know, the weight kind of comes off of me a lot faster. So we're easing into it. We're getting ready.
Have you figured out what that process, as far as what you can drop, how long, and what it is that you need to do? Because as we're getting older, you know, your body reacts a little bit different. But are you at that point where you're like, okay, this is how much I weigh, I need to drop 10, this is exactly what I need to do? Do you have that blueprint for your body?
I have it for my body. Yeah, I have it for my body. A lot of guys ask me all the time, like, what do you do? And, you know, I mean, I have it down for my body. You know, I know I know what I've always done, what I've consistently done, you know, and I can, you know, and I can get any weight done that I need to at 75. You know, they know when I fought at 68, that was where it was a lot more difficult. I had it down, but it was a lot more difficult to get to 68. That's why eventually I moved to 75 just to make it a little easier. But as you do get older, you know, you physically get bigger. You're getting stronger. Your bones are getting heavier. You know, I mean, you do just naturally make it a little tougher. But do I have it down? Yeah. You know, everybody's like, you're in 190 pounds. How do you get to 175? I was like, you ain't gonna see me in a sauna suit for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Like, fuck that. Like that ain't happening with me. Like either they don't understand how to possibly do it, or they're on some kind of drug that keeps them water weighted, so they always got to pull the water weight out of them. I don't know. I don't make any calculations. You know what I mean? But I'm watching guys work out with sauna suits on, going like, "What are you pulling out of your system like a month?
That's
from now,
me.
like 2 months ago? Why are you pulling water weight?" You know?
I live in that goddamn sauna suit. But you know, funny.
No, but
it's funny because I do use that sauna suit, but
for a reason you like to keep yourself lean. You know,
yeah.
I'm talking about like professional fighters like Canelo and fucking who else do I always see fucking always wearing a fucking sauna suit like 2 months before. They're just dehydrating their body. Like you're supposed to be working out, not dehydrating yourself 2 months before your fucking fight. Like I don't put a sauna suit on until the day before weigh-in. Like, who the fuck put the sauna suit on 2 months before? Chavez Jr., who's a fucking retarded. You know, but like, I'm like, get the fuck out of here with that. But he's always on drugs, so he's got to fucking.
You know, but what happens too when you have that sauna suit, and I figured that fucking shit out the hard way was when you stay dehydrated like that, you're more prone to fucking injuries. And so I
Hell yeah.
So and then I used to run every day.
I've been doing that a long time. Like when you say, "Do I got it down?" What the fuck do? I watch a lot of these guys do some dumb shit. I'm going like, why are you wearing that shit right now? Like, work your ass off, work your ass off, work your ass off. When it's time to pull water, you pull the fucking water 5 days. Start pulling it 5 days before, and then you put the sauna suit the last day before. Get in the sauna. You know what I mean? Anyway, I mean, but you know, and until you've done it lots of times, and you know you got to be able to adapt. I mean, some things work for some fighters differently. Like I'll tell you what, some guys like to dehydrate themselves and really get into that pissy fucking mood where them motherfuckers are mad. They need that shit. They need it. It drives them the day of the fight. Some guys like me who just, I mean, I want to make it as easy as I can. I'm not trying to pull weight until the last couple of days. I'm gonna pull the weight the last couple of days. And then I might be bitchy for a couple hours, but I'm not gonna be bitchy for a fucking week. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be in a bad mood and be bitching at my kids, you know, all week long because I'm, you know, I want to wait till, you know, I want to pull weight for 2 weeks. But it's different from every fighter, and everybody has their thing. I'm just giving people a hard time.
No, but there is some truth to it though. What does your road work look like when you're trying to cut weight? Are you doing it every day or every other day?
So, I mean, I do a lot more sprints. I used to do a lot of road work where I was running marathons when I was younger. You know, as I got older, I learned that, you know, the key to get the shit in is to sprint 3 times a week, you know, and then have a couple easy jogs in the middle of that. So I sprint a whole lot more now. But, you know, when you know, long distance stuff. But if you're talking about like the week of, like, I can tell you right now what I do the week of to make my weight. I'm legitimately for the last week of the fight's on Saturday. I start making weight on Sunday. But you know how I start making weight on Sunday? I drink 2 gallons of water on Sunday. Drink 2 gallons of water on Sunday, right? Then 1 gallon on Monday, and then another 1 gallon on Tuesday, then half a gallon on Wednesday. What happens when you drink that much water too fast, too quick? I mean, we all know you run into the restroom all goddamn day.
Yeah.
So naturally you start pissing that shit out, and you letting that water come out of you naturally while you still get to work out hydrated, overly hydrated. You cut back on your carbs, you limit them so you're not stuffing it into your muscles. Like, you limit those down, you let the weight come down. Once you get to like Wednesday, Thursday, you know, okay, we're gonna have to push a little bit here. I'm gonna get in the sauna. I'm gonna do some sauna on Wednesday, and I'm gonna do some sauna on Thursday. I'm away in on Friday, man, and I can go. When I drink that 2 gallons, I'll tell you. I mean, usually I weigh about 195 pounds, and then you know I get on the scale. I'm always 175 pounds under, and I'll be mad at myself for being under because I'm like, damn, messed that up. I'm trying to be right at 175, man. I ain't trying to give anybody extra weight.
Alfonso, there's a famous saying that I've got. It's called "Just give me the fucking spoon." Manny can explain it to you, but my God, brother, when somebody's asking you how to do something and you tell them, and they still trying to do other shit, boy, that makes your job a lot harder. We was going. Listen to this. We was fighting in Mexico. Right? My cut man wasn't coming. Wasn't no money for it. So I called down. I text Robert Redmond Jr. I text Martin Allison, and I text Manny Fresh. Now that's 3 motherfuckers. 3. I said, do me a favor, because they went before me, right? I said, when you get down there, do me a favor, wherever y'all eat at on the board, you know, on outside the board, so make sure you get me a big metal spoon. They all replied, okay, thumbs up, all that shit. I get down there. I get down to the border. We about to cross, right? Going to Mexico. I said, I know one of these motherfuckers got me a spoon. I told 3 of them to give me a fucking spoon. I said, which one of y'all got the spoon? Oh, you were serious?
Look,
I said, look,
we were sick. We get down there. We get down to the border. We had some time to kill, and we're sitting there. I think he had asked, "Well, what y'all doing?" And we're like, "We're having lunch at the Olive Garden." And he goes, "Cool, get us."
Perfect.
And all of us looking at each other. What this motherfucker talking about? Get a spoon. He just said, "Get a spoon." That's it. And so that's why everyone said okay and put a thumbs up. But we didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. And then he shows up and he's like, "All right, which one of y'all got the spoon?" We looked at each other. What fucking spoon?
The key word, hold on. The key phrase is, we didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. So get the spoon. Get the spoon. We get over there. I said, which one of y'all got me the spoon? Oh, you were serious? I said, when your eyes start swelling up, and I ain't got no fucking end swell, I said, you gonna understand why we needed a fucking spoon. So from then on,
we need to get a shirt like that. We need to get a shirt like that.
Yeah. So from then on, Alfonso, and I'm giving it to you too, because I know you come across this shit. You train fighters. From now on, if I give them some direction and they, well, why just get the fucking spoon, bro? Just get the fucking spoon. It's that simple. Oh my God, it's frustrating. Listen, Manny been training for Lord knows how long, and we couldn't never find a master's his weight. And so we finally did last Golden Glove, right, man? Or this Golden Glove?
Yeah. This one, this year.
Yeah.
I show up to the fucking venue, and everybody, you know this, everybody's nervous for their first fight. I don't give a fuck if it's an amateur fight, professional fight, whatever. Dude, I'm calm as shit because I need him to be, right? I said, look at that.
Yeah.
This is my good hand. I said, listen, man, don't overthink it. Just pay attention. I need you to do this, and this. And that's it. You win the fight like that.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Listen, man. Can you follow these directions? Let's get the bit. How do I do this? You got it? Yeah, I got it. I said, that's all you need to do. You'll hear my voice. If I tell you switch, go the other way. All right, we're going to win a fight like that. We sitting down. Here comes danger. Coach, Manny went and got a massage yesterday. He went, what? You ain't got a massage? Oh, man, I was tense. Oh, you out of your fucking mind? What's wrong with you? Hey, just get the fucking spoon, bro. Just get the spoon. Hey, we got to be on the same accord. I'm thinking you understand. You got to get the spoon. You know what that means? I can give you directions.
Hey.
But if you do that, you roll me the butter knife and the fork and shit. Fuck you want me to do, man? But he won the fight. He won the fight. But the thing is, it's simple. This shit is precision. You know this, Alfonso. This shit is very small error because you can do everything right and get clear. So I need you to follow fucking directions. But yeah, we need to get the shirt. Coach just said, get the fucking spoon, man, with a spoon on it. That's all you do.
To tie all that together, the moral of the story is sometimes we do so fucking much that we forget to do just a simple fucking thing, follow instruction, and just get the job done. Right? Motherfuckers want to be wearing sauna shoes and doing all kinds of shit. There's a science to it, and you just gotta follow the steps. No fucking massages.
Hey, Robert just posted on Instagram. Robert just put, just get the fucking spoon with a spoon on the thing. Yeah, man. Hey, Alfonso, I got something for you I want to ask. I want to get your opinion. Now, we try not to stray from boxing, and we all have personal issues, and of course we don't bring politics and shit to the show because all that does is cause problems, right? And me, I am a staunch independent constitutionalist, right? Left people think I'm right people think I'm left, and I think they both fucking retarded. But that's just me. As a professional athlete, this is what I want to ask you. As a professional athlete, what do you make out of all these fucking people who think a professional athlete shouldn't use his platform to fucking say what he thinks or influence? I don't understand that, man, because, and I want to get your opinion, but here's my thing. It's like the people who's telling you that are using their platform, Facebook, whatever, athletes, shut up and just fight, or shut up and just, man, I find that very, very hypocritical, bro. Very. Like, what the fuck you mean? He's not supposed to say what the fuck. What you think about that, bro? When they tell you, I don't gotta be on your side of the fucking issue to know you're an American and have freedom of speech and shit. That runs me hot, man, because these guys, shut up and well, bro. Shut up and deliver the mail. Yeah. Shut up and cut the grass, motherfucker. Yeah. That's ridiculous, man. Yeah. This is America, bro. What you think about that? About people telling pro athletes?
Yeah, you mean you have to find it. You have to find it, disrespectful. I mean, it has to be. It comes off as being disrespectful. It's coming off of you thinking that. I mean, we ain't fucking athletes with no voice, and we're not fucking dummies. You know what I mean? Like we've been around the game. We understand what we got to do, and so and like when we speak our mind, we influence. I mean, you're a role model for somebody. So you're influencing whether kids or adults or whoever. At some point in your life, you're influencing people. And, you get to say whether we believe it or not, whether, or agree or not, is what you want to say. Like you said, I don't have to agree with it, or you don't have to agree with me, or I don't have to agree with you, but you have a voice, and no one should tell you like, man, come on, just shut up and go fight, or hey man, shut up and just go play basketball, hey, just shut up and go do whatever, but if you're speaking up on your own personal issues or your own personal time, your own personal feelings, and you're giving it straight from in honesty in your heart, and you ain't got no other hidden agendas, I feel like we have the right to say what the hell we want. We have to say, the flat out. I mean, no one's gonna tell me not to say anything I don't want to say, and and you're also not gonna tell me what not to say. So it's tough because you hear those guys. It's very hypocritical. It's like, I mean, like, I got all these.
It's a very elitist.
What I believe in.
It's very elitist attitude, man. That you're not supposed to say nothing. That's fucking insane to me, man.
Yeah, I think you have a responsibility because you have a platform, and you do have people.
Oh yeah, it's responsibility.
Follow you. I believe this. I believe that they have a responsibility to speak up against injustices. And I think. What happened?
He said, "Give him a second." Hold that thought, because you know, we don't do the politics and shit on the show, and that ain't my intention. But as a professional athlete, man, I'm sure he has an opinion on motherfuckers thinking he shouldn't say shit or shouldn't have nothing to say. That's insane to me, man, that people think like that. All while at the same fucking time giving their opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like at the same fucking time they saying A, B, C, D, but you can't say it. I don't think, man, people lack. That's a critical thinking, lack of critical thinking. To analyze what you're saying, man. Because how the fuck do you think these guys shouldn't say shit, but you fine. You can tell everybody whatever bullshit you think. It's insane, man.
Well, I think it goes back to what you said. It's an elitist attitude where motherfuckers think that I'm better than. I don't need to listen to you. You just fucking play basketball. You're just a boxer. Shut the fuck up and do what you're supposed to do. So that comes from an elitist.
It's fucking insane to me, man.
But what I wanted to say was, I think if anyone has a platform, whether you have a following of 10 people or 10 million people, you have a responsibility to speak up against, social injustices or shit that you just don't see as social injustices. But I also believe that it's got to be genuine, right? And you have to be able to back your shit up. And what I mean by that is, I don't think it's enough for people, athletes. I don't think it's enough for them just to get on social media, just to get in front of TV and say, yeah, we need more rest. Yes, there's social injustice. I think that can be insulting sometimes. I think you have to be able to put some skin in the game. And I liked when LeBron James and the rest of the NBA players said, "Well, fuck it, we're gonna boycott the rest of the season," because not only have they been speaking up, but now they're also saying, "Well, we're willing to put our money on the line because we know that it's going to affect the network, it's going to affect the media, it's going to affect the owners, it's going to affect our own paychecks." And that's the only real fucking thing that's going to make changes, is when people's pockets start to get affected. When these sponsors start losing money, when the network starts losing money, when the owners start losing money. Because a motherfucker can say whatever they want to say until they're blue. And if no one's really being affected by it, then nothing's going to change. So that's why I'm not a big LeBron James. I'm not a LeBron James fan at all. And I'll speak up against shit that he'll say or do, when he does shit. But when he walked out of the NBA meeting and says we're gonna boycott the rest of the season, I was like, okay, well, I can respect that, because now you're putting your money on the line, you're putting your brand on the line, and I think that's what we all need to do more of, is not only speak up, but also put our own put some skin in the game and show people, well, wait a minute, we're just not speaking empty words into a camera and showing a fake concern. Now, I'm not saying that that's what they do, but when you're able to back it up and say, I'm putting my money on the line, like Cap, when he took that whole knee, all this could have been done and finished with, and he could still be in the league if he would have just stood up and not kneed. But he said, nah, if it cost me my career, this is what I'm going to do. And it did. And it's cost him millions and millions of dollars. And I think that's why he's had the impact that he's had on this whole movement. And his message resonates with so many people, because it did. It caught his convictions, what he believed, the message that he was trying to convey was all backed up by his action. And it cost him his career, and it cost him millions and millions of dollars. So I think that's why he has a lot of respect from from the people behind this movement. So that's my thought. Don't speak on it, but actually follow through with action. That saying all that to say that.
I wasn't trying to get into none of the specifics. Y'all, I'm sure both y'all know how we. I don't give a flying fuck. But what you just described, man, was what matters to you, right? It makes you value what they said or did. Or if they're not doing nothing, then what they're doing doesn't matter to you. But again, my question is this: who has the right to tell an athlete he ain't got the right to say shit?
Oh yeah. No.
What you're saying is, if you got some skin in the game, I pay more attention to you. Yeah. That's fair. Me too. It doesn't matter when and listen, man, I stand up for the anthem. I'm not, maybe I would have protested differently. But I felt like the Kaepernick shit, I hate the 49ers to the same fans, fuck him. But when he stood up for himself or whatever he did, I remember when that Marine said, bro, people gonna miss what you're doing because you're sitting down. So get up, he compromised. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. You either one side or the other. It still fell on deaf ears. And yeah. He took his livelihood, which could either be, you could agree that was a hell of a thing to do or think it's foolish or whatever. It doesn't matter. My point is this: who the fuck gives a person, and they can have this opinion, but it's very fucking small-minded to think that an athlete shouldn't say nothing because he's an athlete. Because like you said, his platform is much bigger than the average Joe Blow, the manager at Walmart. So more people hear it.
Yeah.
The only thing is, this is what I'll say. When they put skin in the game, it matters to you. For me, is this. I'll hear what you got to say, but I want to see if you're informed. See, a lot of people jump in on shit, don't really have they're not informed about it. They just going with the trends and really just didn't think no deeper into that. I like a motherfucker to start looking into the shit and have a valid opinion. I think he's got the right to say whatever the fuck he wants to say. I'll point and laugh or agree. It don't matter. It's just I like to see the athletes informed because it's a responsibility they're taking on by saying something, period. So make sure you know what you're talking about, period. That's all I mean. But I just find it very fucking hypocritical that a 9-to-5 thinks Alfonso Lopez maybe should shut up and box. What the fuck? Like I'm not a person? What the fuck are you talking about? We all have constitutional rights. We all have freedom of speech. And guess what? When you say something publicly, you can sink your whole ship. You can motherfuckers will abandon you. When a motherfucker told me that Kaepernick admitted he didn't even vote for president and shit, I'm like, how are you so informed and shit? You don't even get to the polls, and that's how shit works. Whether you believe in it or not, that's how shit works, bro. People are listening to you. What the fuck you mean? What the fuck? And so that was like a letdown for me. But I still think he had the right to sit down, kneel, say fuck you, kiss my ass, whatever. He still got the right to do it. He just gotta bear. He gotta bear the what happens from it. That's insane to me, man. And I think what Manny just said, I probably, I get it. If you ain't got skin in the game, I just don't give a fuck what you say. That's fair too. That's fair too.
Well, not only, but it's not that. It's not that I don't care. It's that it's not that you don't have skin in the game. It's that words is one thing, but let's see you apply pressure. I want to see you back up everything because you're in a position. If you have that platform, and it doesn't matter what it is that you believe in. All I'm saying is, I don't, without getting political on either side, because I'm like Coach. I have conservative views, and then I agree with a little bit on both sides. But if you have a platform, don't just use it to speak. Use it to apply pressure to create change. That's it. Be genuine. Don't just, and that's really the thing that irks me is when people speak words and aren't genuine about it. They're just saying it because someone's behind the camera giving them a script to say it. Nah, if you believe in something, write it to the end. Let's see how far your conviction is, because and you start putting pressure on the corporate side, that you'll start seeing change. But that's a whole nother episode.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Hopefully people watch and listen, understand what I'm saying, and go, man, me trying to silence anybody.
Yeah.
Is un-American, right? Trying to silence anybody, right?
Yeah.
You know, I learned in fucking middle school, if the freedom of speech, if it doesn't defend the worst speech, then it doesn't defend yours. You know what I'm saying? If it doesn't, the worst example of an idiot having freedom of speech, if he's not protected, then you're not protected. Because the minute we tell him, you can't say that. Well, as soon as they disagree with you, you can't say that. And that's, as athletes. And I say that because in boxing, these young kids especially too, bro, they put their little fucking beliefs on their trunks and robes and shit because they're trying to make a statement. And everybody don't have the monetary. Every athlete, every star doesn't have the monetary impact, right?
Right.
But if you're performing on a top-ranked show or a PBC show or whatever show, and millions of people are watching, goddamn me, you could put whatever on your trunks and people see. You see what I'm saying? And I just feel like, who are you to fucking tell people they can't believe what they believe, man? It's amazing to me that in a country that's supposed to be based on freedoms, the very same people who holler freedom, 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 liberty, 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 are the same motherfuckers. I just heard a police chief say he wanted to put fucking round up people and put them in warehouses for the rest of their life. What the fuck are you talking about, man? What the fuck are you talking about, man? That's, you know who did that? That's what I'm saying, bro. But in his mind, I'm sure in his mind, it makes sense to him what he's doing. He's out there fighting crime and shit, so maybe he believes that shit with. I don't know, bro. I don't think anybody should be silenced. The worst motherfucker needs to say. Matter of fact, that allows me to keep my eyes on your ass. If you're saying some stupid shit, identify yourself, man. Because I don't want to be thinking you're a good guy and you're a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? I want to know. People talking about people talking about take their Twitter and take their Facebook. Are you out your fucking mind? Don't you want to know these crazy bastards what they say? I want to know what he's saying. I can steer clear from that shit, man. But anyway, I figure most people just don't think into it, bro, when they say that. When they say an athlete should just shut up and throw the ball, shut up and dribble the ball, they just not thinking because they not shutting up and doing whatever the fuck they do. They saying that shit to somebody, you know. It doesn't make no difference, bro, if you're an athlete or a fucking lawn chef in a fucking restaurant. You just as much got the right to say the shit you got to say that I do, man.
All right. That's it. That's it.
That's my one political statement.
Coach got on a political rant. Shit's gonna go viral.
Well, I wasn't. I didn't voice no opinions. I'm not trying to voice no opinions.
I mean, it's plain and simple. I mean, everybody's got a voice. You can't tell an athlete that they can't speak up. I mean, it's a great point to anybody that they can't speak up. I mean, if you got a following, whether, I don't mean everybody's going to flock to what you have to say, but I mean, you have a right to say what you feel and do what you want to do to show the support in an area that you wish give it to. So hands down, no one has the right to tell me throw the ball, just go fight, just do this. Like, listen, man, like, I mean, I feel bad for the situation, and this is how I feel. I'm trying to express people to see it in my perspective or a different perspective than you're getting it from everybody else. Whether you want to hear it or you don't want to hear it, that's up to you. But you just can't tell me that I can't express myself. And so,
let's talk about
I get
someone
it.
who wants to.
I agree with that.
Let's talk about a fight coming up, man. I think Lomachenko is going to try and shut up Lopez. Lopez been talking a good game, been talking this fight up. Who you like in that fight, Alfonso? Lomachenko or Lopez?
I mean, I really I go back and forth with it. I think it's going to be a great fight. I just feel that Lomachenko probably has too many tools in his tool bag to pull the victory off. I think that Lopez is highly talented, extremely physically and strong, and has great skills. But I just feel that Lomachenko, in my opinion, has a little bit more in the tool bag to use in the fight overall. Whether it's fighting, whether it's boxing, whether it's counter punching, I think he can do more. And I just see Lomachenko pulling off a victory against Lopez. Yeah.
What you got?
Go ahead.
What about Banana, bro, and Little Charlo, man? God, man, I'm amped about this one. At 54, Banana Rosario versus Jamel.
When is that fight?
Yeah. Man,
I think
I
like
Charlo.
September.
You know, I like Charlo, and not only because he's our hometown guy, but I just like the overall his demeanor and the way both those guys enter all their fights. They're always mentally just truly engaged and always there. They bring everything they have to their training and what they take to the ring. And you can't ever doubt that from them. And so I want to see. I lean on Charlo in this fight just because I think he's just going to bring. He's technically sound better, and I think he just brings more physical tools.
Yeah, that's September 26th coming up.
September. Huh? This fight's gonna crown. Yeah. This fight's gonna crown an undisputed junior middleweight champion, right?
Yeah. I think that this will be for everything.
Yeah, this is the whole ball of wax right here, man. This is gonna be an undisputed junior middleweight champ, man. I tell you, man, I love this matchup, man. I'm excited about the fight. You can't. Every time I've looked at a guy and I said, this guy is more skilled than Jamel or Jamal, whatever. I always got to factor in their strength and their punching power and their willingness to engage and everything. And it's hard to handicap that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to handicap a guy who may lose a couple rounds, but he's still coming forward and swinging for the fence. And they so fucking big and strong at that weight, So you can't hardly have them. I can't hardly have them as underdogs against anybody. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's weird. Normally there's a clear, like in the Lomachenko Lopez, right? I'm rooting for Lopez, but I'm like, I think Lomachenko's probably the better boxer, and he might outbox him. But it's clear to me. It's clear that Teofimo, who I'm rooting for, can knock Lomachenko out. But it's just as clear that I think Lomachenko's the better boxer. So I'm clear on that. Whereas with the Charlos, bro, it's like, shit, even if you can outbox him, it really don't fucking matter, man.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, I'll go on the limb on this one. I think who wins this fight is going to be a clear outcome. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a clear. Somebody's either going to get knocked out or beat up. I think that's what's going to happen with these two guys.
Yeah. Happen.
And truly will be the 54. Yeah, the 54 top guy. And again, Harrison, J-Rock, all them boys, man, can fight, man. It's an uphill climb at 54 too, man. Big time.
That's going to be a good card too in September, man. They got Mario Barrios on that.
Is Lara fighting tonight?
Yeah, he's fighting
at 54. I thought he fights tonight. Here's Lara.
Who? Mario Barrios?
Yeah.
No, Lara.
Lara fights tonight, right? I think so.
Is that at 54, right?
Yeah.
Let me see who fights tonight.
Yeah, because his last fight, he lost to oh man, I'm forgetting about Jared Hurd. You can't forget about Jared Hurd, bro. He's another one. Yep. You try to count him out, bro, and he'll still be there. Still be there fighting, man. Yep. Lara had fought Hurd. Yeah, he's at 54. So there's some good shows on tonight too.
Man, well, Alfonso, we've been on for an hour and a half, bro.
We appreciate it, man.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
Tell Chris, thank you, bro. I reached out to him and he hollered right back at me, man. Just wanted to get an update and with the movement at light heavy recently. I know you was watching. I know your eyes was on it, man. So
keep us posted. Keep us posted on any chance of you guys putting on a show, man. We'd love to come out, help promote, do our thing, get Robert on the dang fight.
Absolutely. Now, for sure, man. We're gonna keep everybody posted. I always appreciate you guys and the support that y'all give. To LD Promotions and myself. We're gonna get back to it. We're keeping our eyes on a lot of things, and we'll let everybody know as soon as we get things back to rolling.
Fonzo, now when you make the match with the big one, right? I don't care if it's Better BL, B-Vol, or Joe Smith. I'm gonna tell you how to beat him, but you gotta get the spoon, bro. You gotta get the spoon, bro. You gotta get it, man. Don't come back with a butter knife talking about what.
Weigh in with that damn spoon.
All right, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, man. We appreciate it. We'll catch y'all next week. Who do we got next week? We got Shock?
Yeah, Oshaki Foster next week. It's gonna be at noon though. He got some shit going on in the morning, but I told him we'll do it at noon for him.
All right, man. Well, from everyone over here, Soapboxing Podcast, we'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Absolutely.